Can you bring your dog on a cruise ship? Have you ever wondered if you can bring your furry friend on a cruise? Well, you're not alone. Today, we're diving into the adorable world of dogs on cruise ships. We will investigate the ins and outs of bringing a dog onto a cruise ship and answer some pretty common questions. Plus, if you stay until the end, I will tell you about 2 Canadian cruises that I just discovered while researching this video, where you can cruise with your pet. So grab a paper and a pen so that you can write down some of this important information. As a seasoned cruiser, I've seen quite a few dogs on ships, but you might be wondering, can my dog really join me on my next cruise adventure? The answer is yes, but like anything, there are a few rules and qualifications to keep in mind. So let's break it down. First off, why would you want to bring your dog on a cruise? Well, for starters, it is an optional way to keep your family together, and maybe you don't want to leave your pet behind or find a pet sitter. But realistically, just because you may be able to take a pet or service animal on a cruise doesn't actually mean it's a great idea. First of all, you'll need to consider the environment that your dog will face on the ship. Will your dog get distressed having to go into a kennel? Would you be able to take care of your animal in terms of making sure he'll be fed, walked, watered, and picked up after? You really just never know how your animal will react to being on a ship in a strange environment. Does your dog usually go on long walks? Will he be okay in a confined area? What about the veterinarian services? There likely won't be anything there for your dog. Also, what about port days? Is your dog allowed to visit the country or location that you're cruising to? Will your dog need special vaccinations to travel? Does he qualify to come to the country that you're visiting? Should your dog get a passport? There is a lot going into the decision of bringing a pet or service animal on board. Keep in mind, it's highly unlikely that your dog will be allowed to be unattended, waiting for you in the stateroom or on the ship deck while you're off exploring or doing an activity on the ship without him. There are really 3 basic categories that your animal will fall under when looking to see if your dog qualifies to go on certain cruise lines. The 3 categories are A, a service dog, B, emotional support or dog therapy dog, and C, a pet. So here's a few key points that you need to remember. Number 1, service dogs. Most cruise lines welcome service dogs, and a service animal is specifically trained to perform a task related to helping a human, such as leading a blind person or protecting a person from having a seizure. So they're working animals, typically dogs, and not considered pets. Service animals are allowed in cabins and public areas as long as they're on a leash. However, they're banned from swimming pools and hot tubs, the ship's galley, and areas specific to kids or crew. And another thing to note that service animals cruise for free. Almost all major cruise lines will allow service dogs on board. Lines like Carnival, Celebrity, Disney, Holland America, MSC, Princess, Norwegian, Royal Caribbean, and Viking. Please, I encourage you to add more of your favorite cruise lines that welcome service dogs in the comments below. Emotional support animals. Some cruise lines may allow emotional support animals, but you'll need to provide proper documentation. I've actually seen a few emotional support dogs on ships like Princess, and at the time of my investigation, there are a few cruise lines that stated that they do not allow support animals. And these lines include Carnival, Celebrity, Disney, Holland America, MSC, Norwegian, and Royal Caribbean. The cruise lines that may allow emotional support dogs include Princess and Viking Cruises. Again, please comment below regarding any updated information or telling me about your experiences with emotional support dogs on cruise ships. And pet-friendly cruises. When it comes to pet-friendly cruises, there's really only one major ship, Cunard Queen Mary 2. On certain transatlantic sailings between New York and Southampton and vice versa, you can bring your dog or cat. There is a dedicated kennel where your animal will be confined to their own kennel, where dedicated crew members feed, walk, and watch your dogs while you're off doing your thing on the ship. You will be able to visit your pet only during certain designated hours each day. Just so you know, as someone without a pet, I tried to see how close I could get to seeing the pets on board the Queen Mary 2 when I was there, and trust me, it is impossible to see the animals unless you are a pet owner and you have one in there of your own. Lastly, it's suggested that you book your pet's accommodations at least a year in advance, as they only have room for 24 pets at a time. And if you travel in Europe, you'll have an easier time finding more pet-friendly cruises. For example, Brittany Ferries, Tallink, Silja Line, and DFDS mini cruises. So imagine this, you're about to board and you see a lady trying to smuggle her little pup in a handbag. Don't do that. There are legitimate ways to bring your dog on a cruise ship, and it's all about planning and choosing the right cruise line. In conclusion, bringing your dog on a cruise can be an incredible experience, but it requires research and preparation. Make sure your dog meets the qualifications, choose a pet-friendly cruise line, and you'll be set for an unforgettable adventure at sea. Thank you so much for joining me today. Now, as promised, I have 2 exciting Canadian pet-friendly cruise options for you. I discovered them as I was researching this topic for you. I'm going to start off with BC Ferries, who welcome small pets including dogs, cats, ferrets, birds, and hamsters to travel for free on expeditions around British Columbia. They're a pet-friendly daytime and overnight ferry that can actually connect you to Alaskan ferries. I'm linking them in the description below. And then there's Relais, RELAIS Nordic, where you and your dog can go on a French-Canadian adventure around some isolated towns in Quebec and New Brunswick, Canada. They have many ports of call, and to be honest, when I found this cruise, I got so excited that I told Kirk we're going to try this out next year. I will link it in the description below as well. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, and please don't forget to subscribe to KirkToriStory for more travel tips and adventures. I really appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.